Time management is a very important thing to have in your life. Without time management, it can be very hard to function properly in your day-to-day life, almost for some people nearly impossible. Time management is defined as the analysis of how working hours are spent and the prioritization of skills in order to maximize personal efficiency in the workplace. We need time management because time is limited. We only have 24 hours in the day, and for the average adult, they will sleep 7 to 8 hours a day. Some sleep longer, some sleep less, but still, it's taking up a chunk of our time where we could be doing something. Or so that's what's believed. You can accomplish more with less effort with time management, as you have everything planned out and it'll be less stressful. It can also improve your decision-making abilities, can make you more successful in your career. It gives you opportunities to have learning experiences that can be all around you. Whereas if you didn't have time management, you would just be focused on all the things that you had to do. A good key thing for most people that do have time management or have developed time management is the reduction of stress. It eases your mind because you have everything in order of how you're going to do it, when you're going to do it, and when it's going to be done. Free time is necessary. You need time for yourself to relax, take a breath, and just have time for yourself, and not, if you wanted to, not do anything or do stuff that you like. It also teaches you self-discipline, so you would be able to get things done in a certain amount of time, and gives you free time because you're following a certain order and a certain time frame. On to the sleep part of it, with my comment about it technically taking up time. That's a false belief. Some people think that sacrificing sleep is good, so they can be more productive, but that's not the case. When you're when you're skipping sleep, you're not going to be able to focus as much, and you're going to be really foggy, which is going to make you take longer to do these tasks than it would have if you got your proper amount of sleep. And it might not be done to the standard that it needs to be, causing you to have to redo it. It's not necessarily saving you time, in a sense. One of the fastest ways to overwhelm you is to think that you have a massive to-do list. You need to realize that no amount of this thought will make it any shorter. You need to focus on the one task you have at a time, not looking ahead at what else you have, just the one thing you have right in front of you that needs to be accomplished now. Another false belief is food, making food. People believe that ordering pizza or ordering food is going to save them time because they're not going to have to cook the food and deal with all of the dishes and stuff. But in reality, eating that way can have a great impact on your health, and impacting your health would cause you to go to the doctor or go get checked out, or just make you not able to do anything because you just feel so bad and gross and not feeling good, so you wouldn't want to do anything. It could also make you very fatigued when someone's fatigued, they don't have the tendency to want to do anything and be productive. They want to just sit down and relax and take time for themselves. Strategies for time management include the process of time management, which is the cost of your time. So know how much your time is worth and distribute it accordingly. Goal setting. Setting goals you want to achieve, both short-term and long-term, that are to be accomplished. Planning. You make a list of everything that you need to do, and after you make that list, you prioritize. You're prioritizing what needs to be done first and what can be done last, of looking at it of what's the most important thing you need to do. And with that, you make a schedule. So you plan to make the best use of your time and the time that you have, and make a realistic estimate of what you can actually do in that amount of time. Along with that, some tips for productiveness include having a single purpose focus. As I mentioned earlier, you focus on one thing. You don't let your mind get clouded by all of the other things that you have to do. You focus on the one task that's in front of you and get that done, and then move accordingly. You also have to ruthlessly block out the distractions, because if you don't, the slightest thing can distract you and start wasting your time for however amount of time. If it's even just a few seconds here and there will add up, and you'll find yourself without any time to get this certain thing done. You also need to set a strict timeline on meetings, on when you're going to achieve this, and make sure it's done by that time. Also, if you are able to, you can outsource personal chores. So when you're focusing on something that's quite important, say like school or work, if you have someone there that needs to just take out the garbage, for instance, it's saving you that amount of time that you need to be working on either your school or your work. Effective time management consists of prioritizing, which is similar to the tips for productiveness. You also need to say no when it's needed. You don't always have to say yes to people. If it's something that's just going to waste your time, you don't have time for it, you can say no. Saying no will not offend someone, and even if it does, it will be for a short period of time and they will get over it. So you need to know when to say no. Along with what I mentioned for productiveness, planning. You need to plan out your days, your weeks, or even your months, or how far you know, so you know how much time you have and know what you can get done in those amount of times. You also need to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, it can have a huge impact on your available time, because you could be going to the doctors, you could be in bed sick, and it could have been time where you could have been being productive, doing certain things in your day. A lot of issues with not having time management is an impact it can have on your mental health, which it can cause stress and anxiety, and that is a huge mental impact, and it is hard for people to deal with, a lot of people to deal with. They can start having panic attacks, breakdowns, and they just won't be able to function properly. Along with the mental is your physical health. If you're not doing time management and actively participating and doing that, it can have a huge impact on your physical health. You can start to hold your stress in your body. Stress has actually a large impact on your body physically. It can, I know for myself, I hold tension in my back, which gives me back problems, and it can make you have hives. It can make your glands swollen, which can be pretty painful. A number of things that it can have on your physical health that'll make you end up going to the doctors because you need some type of medication because you developed this illness or anything along those lines. It can weaken your immune system, so you're more susceptible to things like influenza A, aka the cold. It also impacts your socialization. When you don't have time management, you won't think you have time to see your friends, your family, because you're focused on this task that needs to be done because you feel like you have no time. If you have time management, that won't be a problem because you'll be getting things done in a timely manner and you'll be able to make plans. A lot of people will make plans, and for people who don't have time management, they won't be able to make plans due to the fact that they're in a rush to get their certain things done and they don't know what their next week is going to look like. Or they could be making plans and at the last minute canceling because they have all these things that they need to do that are important for school or work. Living a healthy, low stress life involves a proper use of time management. So, to use time management effectively, you need to know how much time you have, the strategies to use for time management, tips for productiveness and how to keep productive, making use of your time properly, making a calendar or schedule of all the stuff that you need to done, have a planner, stuff like that. You also need to focus on your physical and mental health and make sure that you are healthy and not constantly getting sick, which takes up a lot of people's